So the Atlanta Falcons have lost their last two games. They lost against the New Orleans Saints 17-20, and they lost in today's outing in an ugly fashion to the Denver Broncos. I want to start off with the Saints game, then I will get into the Denver Broncos game. Against the New Orleans Saints, they had a tough time putting pressure on Derek Carr the entire day. And this has been the main theme with the defense with the Atlanta Falcons over the last few years, but especially this season. They don't have a true number one pass rusher. And usually when teams cannot get pressure on the opposing quarterback, I don't care who you are, you're not going to go out there and dominate every single week. And you have a low chance of winning the game. Now, we've seen this defense step up in big moments against the Kansas City Chiefs and against the Philadelphia Eagles in the past. But that seems like a long time ago. This defense has regressed on a week-to-week basis at this point. They can't stop the run. They cannot put pressure on the opposing quarterback without blitzing. And Raheem Morris does have a lot to say so with the defense. He's the defensive head coach. He's the former defensive coordinator with the Los Angeles Rams. The problem is this. Jimmy Lake is in control of defensive plays. He's the defensive coordinator. He's terrible. He's not good. I saw the Atlanta Falcons defense last season be a top passing defense and be above average against the run. I look at them now with better personnel. What can they do? They can't go out there and stop the run. And I understand you had Bud Dupree last year. You had Calais Campbell. They missed those veterans. You bring in Matthew Judon. You will hope that he can give you something. I understand that he's getting double teamed, but he was getting double teamed a lot with the Patriots. He has done nothing with the Atlanta Falcons. He's been a huge disappointment. They're still in the bottom of the league in terms of putting pressure on the opposing quarterback. And this has been the case dating back over the last 4 to 5 years. But they will put you into tough situations where they run stunts up the middle and they will have guys on the outside that come out there and they could collapse the pocket. That was one of the reasons why they lost against the Saints. Now, I understand that Younghoe Koo, he went out there, he missed some field goals. He had a field goal that was blocked. But also, let's give him credit. In that first matchup, he's the reason why they won that football game. He is still a very good kicker in the NFL. He just had a bad game. When I look at the Atlanta Falcons, you should not be in this situation. You have the offensive pieces to go out there and basically run the score on the opposing teams, but you can't do that either. I have more to say about the offense in the next couple minutes. But this defense has to be better. And I don't believe that it will get any better moving forward. Grady Jarrett is your top sack leader, and he has 2.5 sacks on the season. Matthew Judon has 1.5 sacks. Zach Harrison is not known for going out there and sacking the opposing quarterback. He's a run stopper. The same with David Onyemata. Caden Ellis is a very good linebacker in terms of going out there and making plays in coverage and blowing up screen plays and tackling. He's not a pass rusher. You have Nate Landman as well. 3 forced fumbles on the season. That's what he's known for. Arnold, you look at him. He only has 1 sack. That came against the Dallas Cowboys. That's it. I'm not as high on the Atlanta Falcons as I was a few weeks ago because they can't pressure the quarterback. Imagine what's going to happen when you face a team like the Philadelphia Eagles. Again, even though you beat them on Monday night, you have to put pressure on Jalen Hurts. You have to put pressure on Brock Purdy. You have to put pressure on Jordan Love. You have to put pressure on Jared Goff and the Detroit Lions. Because if you don't, they're going to pick you apart. I'm mentioning those teams and those quarterbacks because you will face them in the NFL playoffs. Because I do believe the Atlanta Falcons will still make the NFL playoffs, by the way. I'm not changing that stance. And you have a very good safety in Jesse Bates, one of the best safeties in the NFL. You have Justin Simmons. He's behind his prime, but he's still a solid safety to have. And you also look at the cornerback position. I like A.J. Terrell. Mike Hughes has had some good moments here and there when he's been fully healthy. If this defense cannot step up, they're going to be one and done in the NFL playoffs. And when I look at this offense, man, you have Bijan Robinson, you have Tyler Algier, you have Drake London, Darnell Mooney. And I understand they were dealing with injuries in today's matchup against the Denver Broncos. Darnell Mooney was dealing with a hamstring injury. But you mean to tell me that you cannot run the football with Tyler Algier at least once? At least once in this matchup. But that's what happens when you have a rookie coordinator and Coach Robinson. You have some good games. You have some terrible games as well. Play calling wise. Bijan Robinson had 12 carries for 35 rushing yards. He averaged 3 yards a carry. Drake London, 3 catches, 61 receiving yards. Ray McCloud, 46 receiving yards. Bijan Robinson, 28 receiving yards. It's too many times where the offense is stagnant. And then they're kicking 3. And you look at the Denver Broncos, they're just driving down the field. You did not even have an offensive touchdown in today's matchup. And give the Denver Broncos a lot of credit. One of the best defenses in the NFL. But still, With the offensive pieces that you have and a veteran quarterback, this offense should be better. You expect more out of this offense. Even when they went against New Orleans Saints, you can only score 17 points. You're depending on your kicker. Punch the ball in the red zone. It goes both ways here. I'm not just going to put 100% blame on the defense, 100% of the blame on just the kicker missing his field goals and getting the field goal blocked. You pay Kirk Cousins all of this money for the next 3 years. He should go out there and he should put the ball in the red zone. We've seen him do this in the past, but he has to do this against elite level teams and he has to do this against elite level defenses. And when you talk about Michael Penix Jr., he showed up in today's game. He was 2 of 4 for 24 passing yards. I don't see them switching over to Michael Penix Jr. The game was too far out of hand. You didn't want to risk an injury with your starters. You put the backups in. That's what you do. The Atlanta Falcons have all the talent in the world to go out there and to be in a better situation. And I like Coach Morris a lot. He's had a lot of good wins this season. We saw what he did against Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Thursday Night Football. Not once, but they defeated them twice this year. But when I look at this Falcons team right now, you are supposed to be better than this. And they are better than this because they have the players that are better. It comes down to coaching. It's the players and the coaching with the Falcons. Until they fix this defense, they're not going to be a major contender in the NFC. And when I look at this offense, the play calling has to be better. And Coach Robinson is a bit handicapped in this situation because you have a quarterback, he's a statue. But Kirk Cousins can spin the ball with the best of them. Look at what he did against Tampa Bay Buccaneers. You don't just go out there and throw for over 400 passing yards and just disappear for the rest of the season. That's not how this works. And Kirk Cousins still has very good numbers on the season. He is still a very good quarterback. Is he a top 5 quarterback this season? No. But he has still gotten the Atlanta Falcons to this point. The reason why I'm talking like this and the reason why I'm basically in panic mode, there's a little room for error here. Yes, you defeated the Tampa Bay Buccaneers twice, but they're on your heels in this division. And you split with the New Orleans Saints. Now, they were to go out there and sweep the New Orleans Saints or sweep the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, they would for sure make the NFL playoffs. And I still believe that they will make the NFL playoffs. But their next 2 games are very tough. You face the Los Angeles Chargers at home. They have one of the best defenses in the NFL. You face the Minnesota Vikings as well. Another defense. And guess what they can do? They can get after the quarterback. And the same with the Los Angeles Chargers. And Kirk Cousins can't move around as much. You face the Las Vegas Raiders on the road. That should be a very easy win. You face the New York Giants at home. That should be a win. Then you face the Washington Commanders on the road. That's going to be tough. And then you face the Carolina Panthers. Go back to the basics. Run the football with Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier. Get the football to Kyle Pitts. Get the football to Drake London. Get the football out quick as possible. The offensive line has to step up. But it starts with this defense. Send more blitzes if you have to, but you have to put pressure on the opposing quarterback. And another thing that I noticed, when they go against scrambling quarterbacks, their defense completely takes another step back because they can't even go back there and tackle the guys majority of the time. Now, Matthew Judon has done a very good job of keeping some scrambling quarterbacks at bay. We saw what he did with the Philadelphia Eagles in that game against Jalen Hurts. We saw what he did against the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes. But imagine what this defense is going to look like when they have to face a guy like Jordan Love who can move inside and outside the pocket and has the athleticism. Imagine what this defense will look like when they have to face a guy like Jaden Daniels and the Washington Commanders. Coach Morris is at blame for this as well because you brought in this coaching staff with the talent that they have. They should not have the record that they have right now. And you go back to coaching in week 1 when they lost to the Steelers by field goals. Their defense stepped up big time in that matchup. But they could not go out there and score another touchdown to get them over the hump because you kept Kirk Cousins in pistol majority of the time. Give the teams different looks. Go to Kirk Cousins' strengths because in today's matchup, you let the Denver Broncos defense dictate this game. You never do that as an offensive coordinator. You stick to your script. You stick to your script and you let your quarterback go out there and get as comfortable as possible. And he can stare down that barrel. Now, if he doesn't step up or not, that's okay. And Kirk Cousins has had an interception this week and last week and against the Seattle Seahawks. And also another game to where they were just pressuring Kirk Cousins all day and they had turnovers. Kirk Cousins cannot go out there and put the football in harm's way because the defense is not good enough to overcome the certain turnovers. Now, in red zone situations, the defense does look better because it's a condensed field. But they're still walking away with 3. And guess what teams are doing in the red zone? They'll just run the football straight up the gut. Or they'll just do a tossy outside because they're not that athletic on the defensive end. They need to get into team meetings Monday or Tuesday and figure this out. They have the talent to go out there and possibly make a run. But right now, with how the defense is looking, I'm just going to keep it real with you guys. They're just not good enough right now. But let me know in the comment section below, how do you guys feel about the Atlanta Falcons? And do you believe that they are still a major contender in the NFC? If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, hit the like button. Most importantly, want each and every last one of you guys stay safe, stay positive. Thanks for watching the video, guys. God bless. Peace.